Yes, as I remember, we discussed the MCQ things of the 2017 last time. So we are there to discuss the 2017 essay paper, right? So let's start. This is the very first question that you are getting. So it says convert the binary number, this particular thing, into the octal. Show steps in your calculation. So, and the second one, they say, given the hexadecimal value, to convert that into a binary, right? It's better we go by the marking scheme, right? Let me take the marking scheme as well. Right. So, according to the marking scheme, this is the mark. Yeah, this is the way they have marked it. Oh, I think this is overlapped. Right. So this is the way they have marked it. So what they have done is they have taken the binary number and divided into to the group of threes, right? So where they can have the binary values which contains 3-bit groups. So then later those 3-bit groups are being considered as a binary value, individual binary values. So they convert that 3-bit group into its decimal. So when you are doing it, you are considering the place values of these characters like 1, 2, and 4, right? So that's why this is getting 4, this is getting 1, this is getting 7, and this is getting 6. So 6714 in octal, right? 1 mark is given. So there are many more ways, right? You can convert this into the convert binary into the decimal, and decimal then into the octal, right? So you can go on that manner as well, right? So, but this is the shortest way, right? So you are given the marks if you done it in any way, right? The final answer is what matters, right? And you should clearly show the steps how we are going to do that, because marking scheme says 0.5 marks for the answer and 0.5 marks for the step, right? So 1 mark is given if that is okay. And for the part B, here what they have done is, in the hexadecimal value, they have wrote it in 4-bit binary values. Right, so for place values will be 1, 2, 4, and 8, which you know. And to complete the 2, it is 1. These are going to be 0. To have the 5, 4 and 1 should be there. Others are going to be 0. For 7, 1, 1, 1 should be there. This is going to be a 0. So that is why 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0 is the answer. If you want, you can omit this leading 0 because it doesn't have any value. Only the leading 0, right? Not the trailing one. So if you got it correctly, again 0.5 marks for the answer and 0.5 marks for step. Right. So if it is not clear, you can ask me to do it again, right? And again, there are many more methods. You can convert the hexa into the decimal value and decimal into the binary, right? Can go on anyway. But remember to have the shortest method when you are doing it. Right, moving to the second question. In the second question, they are talking about a logic gate, right? So that, yeah, so this question describes like there is a light sensor, motion sensor, and the this light and motion sensor is helping to light up a flashlight, right? So the situation or the the moment that flashlight is been light up uh, is described over here, right? And it says when it is dark and when someone approaches the door from outside, okay, there is a part of the question. Hold on, I'll go for the question page. Yeah. Yes, it says the light turns on when it is dark and when someone approaches the door, right? And when it is dark is indicated by 0. It's described right over here. The more yeah, this is regarding the motion sensor, and this is, yeah, this is where it says about the light sensor. The light sensor is on when there is light and off when it is dark. So light sensor is on when there is light and off when it is 0. And regarding the motion sensor, it says turns from 0 to 1 when someone comes near the door. Right? So this means to satisfy or like to light up the flashlight, the light sensor should be dark. So this indicates a 0. So dark, we take it as a 0. And when someone's approaching, that indicates 1. Right? So that means from the light sensor, Now, both of them should happen to light up the flashlight. So lighting up the flashlight indicates 1, right? So to indicate, and what they are talking about is the AND gate. Both the condition should happen. So that means the lines which are coming through these sensors should go through a AND gate, because they are asking both the conditions to be happen. So we know to go through an AND gate to receive 1, there should be a 1 over here and 1 over here. So motion sensor should send the 1, so it doesn't matter. But the light sensor should send the 0 to light up the flashlight. So here it is given 0. So 0 should be converted to 1. So you need a NOT gate over here. Right? So P is a NOT gate and Q is a AND gate. Or otherwise, you can go with the expression neither. Let's say the light sensor. The light sensor, we can take it as L. The motion sensor, we can take it as M. So this is going to be L bar, right? This is going to be M, right? If we take flashlight as F, we can say F equals L bar dot M, right? So you need a NOT gate in front of the light sensor and the AND gate to do the combination of the, or to do the what you call the AND operation. Right? Is it clear, people? Let me have the confirmation. Right, great. Okay. So moving downwards, right? So next question is asking about identify which of the two in the following statement are correct regarding the modified circuit given in figure 2. Write down the relevant statement number. So the first one says when switch is on, the flashlight will always be on. So now what they have done is to the previous circuit, output of the previous circuit is set with the OR gate and a switch is connected to that, and it is an OR gate. Now to on the flashlight, it should receive 1. So we know through an OR gate, it will output you 1 in 3 separate scenarios. Like when it is having 0 1, it is going to be 1, and 1 0, it is going to be 1, and 1 1, it is going to be 1. Right? So turning on the switch will send a signal as 1. So that means you are going to receive 1 over this particular line. So regardless of the input that you are going to receive from the previous circuit, that means like out from the Q, flashlight is going to be on because switch is always on. So it is given 1. So because 1 is there, so output is going to be 1. So flashlight get on. So this is correct. When switch is off, this circuit behaves as the circuit in the figure 1. Now switch is off means what? This gives you a 0. So that means to have 1, to on the flashlight, you should have 1 over here. 1 over here means this particular one. Q should output 1. Right here you should have 1. Now from the previous circuit, you know, to have a 1 here, giving a 1 here, then it will goes to the flashlight and it will light up on. So when you are having 1 over here, in this circuit, still flashlight is on. Even here it is on, even here it is on. When you are receiving a 0 over here, flashlight is not going to on neither, because it is goes through a AND gate, right? So then flashlight is off when you are receiving a 0 at the Q. So it behaves in the very same way. The one හම්බෙන වෙලාවට flashlight එක on වෙනවා දෙන්නගෙම switch එක දාලා නැත්නම් 0 හම්බෙන වෙලාවට flashlight එක on වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? So the second one is correct. When switch is off, the circuit behaves as the circuit in the figure 1, which is correct. The behavior of two circuits are identical, which is not. Now, why it is not identical? When you are receiving 0 in the previous circuit, flashlight is not going to on. But if you receive 0 over here, and if someone put the switch, you are going to receive 1 over here. That will light up. That will light up the flashlight. So, calling circuit කොටසෙන් 0 ආවට switch එක දාලා flashlight එක on වෙනවා. So that is a different behavior, right? So we consider this as wrong. It is not identical, right? Okay, so the marks allocation, Leandro, I'll tell you. The marks allocation is like 2 marks for this part, and it was given like this. So 1 mark for the first part, identifying NOT gate is 0.5, identifying AND gate is 0.5, and figuring out the 2 scenarios, 1 and 2, it is given 1 mark. It has given 1 mark. So if your one figure is correct, just 1, it's going to be 0.5 for you. Right, so moving forward. Yeah, here they are asking of the different number of colors that you can see on a pixel by giving the bits per pixel, right? So it is easy when you are taking bits per pixel as 2 to the power, you are going to receive different amount of colors, right? So here they say it's 4 pixels per bit. So, sorry, 4 bits per pixel. And we can see 16 different colors generating by it, right? So it's going to be 16 and 2 marks is given. The fourth one is says, the inputs and the outputs. It's better I go through the question paper. It is not very clear. Yeah, here's the question. Sama goes to work. Sama goes to a bookshop to buy 3 exercise books. So they're asking the input, process, and output of the above scenario, like above information system. After finding the items, she takes them to the counter. When they ask the sales assistant scan the barcode. So I'm going to put the inputs from blue color. So scans barcode. right? And hold on, here the barcode itself is going to be an input, right? And to each item, sticker attached to each item into information system in the shop. Quantities of each item are also entered into system. So quantities of each item is going to be an input as well. Then the processes, the system calculates the cost for each item. So calculates cost for each item is a process. And the total cost of all items. So calculating the total cost of all the items is another process. Then the system prints the bill for the transaction. So bill is going to be your output. So processes are in red and output are in green, right? So any one of these. So and again this scanning barcode can be taken as a process. Scanning barcode. So barcode is going to be an input. So scanning it can be taken as a process, right? So if you got like one input, one process and one output, the marks are going to be given, right? So marks are given on this manner. Let me show it to you. Yeah. For input, it's 0.5 marks. For process, it's 1 mark. And for output, 0.5 marks. Right? Okay, moving forward. Yeah. Dulu mereka kapret din. Right. All right, moving forward, the fifth one. They are talking about the some ports and the machine. Which port can be used to access internet using network UTP cable, which is the RJ45, which is the E port, right? So A is E and B is D, the port that can be used to connect a digital camera, right? You can take it as the USB because HDMI will help you to connect a multimedia projector or a monitor kind of things. And again, VGA still to have the graphic cable to be connected from a monitor or projector. And the PS2, which is the first one, this particular one, is allowing you to connect a mouse or a keyboard, right? Which is an old port, but it is there still on the computers, right? So A is going to be E, B is going to be D. So 1 mark for each part. right? Moving forward, this was the 6th, it was the 5th. 6 should be somewhere here. Yes. Yeah. So the 6th question is talking about the word processing software. You are given two pictures, or like two parts. The left side is the unformatted one. The right side is the formatted one. So they are asking what are the tools that you can use to do these formatting. So covalent bond, it is the font has been changed, and it is been center aligned. So you can go with A and L, right? So if you take one as A, two will be L, or if you take one as L, two will be A. And third one, it is underlining, which is this. And fourth one, it is the subscript, right? When you need the text into a lower level of the normal document, like of the normal typing level, it's going to be subscript. And superscript, as his other half, as in other part, it will send the characters to the up from the normal font typing level, right? So it's subscript for this particular answer. So one is A O L, the second one is again L O A, like if you put A into the one and you have to put L into the two, likewise. And 3 is E, 4 is F. So 0.5 for each part. So you are going to take 2 marks for that. Right. In the 7th one, they are asking the true and false things. So internet protocol address is used to uniquely identify a computer on an internet. Yes, not only in internet, in any computer network, a computer is identified by its IP address, right? So it is true. File transfer protocol is used to transfer files between remote computers. It is, right? File transfer protocol is for that. We are sending one file to another file, like using a Google service or like Google Cloud kind of a thing, right? So it's going to be a file transfer protocol if we are sending the files. The third one is telling hypertext transfer protocol is used to exchange HTML document. Yes, the name describes it. HTTP, hypertext transfer. So hypertext is the language, hypertext markup language, or the HTML is the one we are used to create the web pages. So hypertext transfer protocol is taking care of transferring those web pages from one place to another, right? And it is not a file. Don't misunderstand it. Web page is a separate thing. File is a separate thing. So that is true as well. File and folders in a cloud computing environment can be accessed without an internet connection. No. To deal with the cloud computing, you must have an internet connection, because internet is the one we are referring as the cloud, right? So it is false. So again, 0.5 for each part. So 2 marks is given. Yeah, the 9th one. Sorry, the 8th one. Yes. They are asking about the matching part. So like the some tools are given and you are asked to match the names. And even though it's contains some different like the tool names, you know what are those are, right? But we don't know like A is like we are not really closer, or like magic wand tool is not very much heard by us, neither. But this is in our gym, it is called the fuzzy tool. Right. And lasso tool, as I remember, it's called the what we call the free select. Let's go from there. It's kind of a selection tool, and I don't remember how it says. Yeah, free select tool, right? Lalindi, I'll come back to the fifth question. Yes, yes, Leandra, the stamp and the clone tool are the same. Now, in our one, it's called the clone tool in the gym. Stamp tool is referred in the Photoshop. Like the magic wand is also referred into the Photoshop, and lasso word is also referred to the Photoshop, right? So what I need you to do is just go through the gym stuff, right? And move tool is move tool always. Always clone stamp tool is called the clone tool. Right, so let's do it like this. For A, B, and D, if you got it wrong, just make the corrections and don't reduce your mark. I'll give you like 0.5 for the move tool, and your first question is going to sum up like 18.5, not as 20, because these 1.5 for these A, B, and D, we will reduce it and discuss, because we didn't know about those things, right? But you better know the names from the gym, right? And again, you can remember a lot of things by the icon, right? What the icon says, right? In your examination, definitely you will be receiving the terms which are related to gym, right? Okay. The fifth question, like Lalindi is asking for the fifth question. Let me see. Yeah, this is the fifth dual. So the E is representing the RJ45, which is where we're going to connect a network cable with the RJ45 connector. And D is the USB, where we are going to connect mouse, keyboard, and as well as the digital camera in this scenario, right, through a USB port. And the other one is the HDMI, which we use to connect a monitor, a modern monitor, and projectors and all these things. The VGA cable goes the same way, right? Yeah, VGA goes the same way, and it will be allow you to connect the VGA cable from the monitor. And A is taken as the PS2, which help us to connect mouse or a keyboard, right? But when it comes to the PS2, there are two types, like the green color port and the purple color port. Green is for the mouse and purple is for the keyboard, right? And those are not plug and play as well, right? Lalindi, is it clear, Dua? Right, great. And Leandra, no, don't get all marks or like the total marks for the ninth question, do. Just take the 0.5, and when you are summing it up, just see how many out of 18.5, right? For the eighth question that I'm talking about. And in the ninth, they are talking about this the relationship between application, software, operating system, user, and the hardware. So it is easy. User is interacting with two different things, which is the application software and the operating system. So now A and R going to be like the application software and the operating system. So like the places where the user is interacting, A is going to be the application software, because operating system is also interacting with the application software. So R is going to be the operating system. So it can interact with the A. No, I'm sorry, B is going to be the operating system. So B can interact with A as well as user, right? So this is OS. This is application software. The C is going to be the hardware, right? So A is application software, B is operating system, C is hardware. So the marks are given 1 or 2 correct, only 1 mark. All 3 are correct, 2 marks. No 1.5 is going here. Right, moving forward, the 10th one. Yeah, it is regarding array. It's better I take the question. This is not very much clear. Yeah, here comes the question. So here it says, yeah, here it says a dice is being thrown for 10 times, and they are asking, like they are storing the values that they got in all those times inside an array. So these values, which is the 1 3 5 3 2 1 5 4 6 1, which are in the squares, are the values that you are going to that you were having, right? And these 0 to 8 are the indexes. 0 to 9, this is called the indexes, right? So if you need to access an array, the better way is like what? Saying the array's name, and within square bracket saying the index number, right? So if you need to access this particular one, you are going to say A0. And if you want to access this particular 3, you are going to say A3. And when you are having this particular 5, so A6 is 5 there, right? You should remember this particular thing, because in the question here that they have given, we are given 3 places to be filled, P, Q, and R. So P is a condition kind of a thing, and Q is going to relate with the what you call the array, and the R is going to have the relation with the counting part, right? So now how they have start this particular thing, count is 0, I is 0. There is something called I. and the condition, now you know, like the requirement is counting the number of fives in all 10 thrown situation, right? So what we are going is, we are just taking the first uh, item and we compare it with the 5, whether it is equal. If those are equal, you are going to increase your count, because you need to do the or like you need to take the total count of the fives in this throne. So if you find a five, then you are going to increase your count. Otherwise, you are not. So like how we are going to do that? To fulfill the condition, it should be a if condition, right? So in the if condition, the answer should be it should be an answer to have 10 iterations, right? So if we put it blindly as 10, it can be a correct one or a wrong one as well. So we have to check how the things are going to happen. So to check it, we'll do the hand tracing, right? So count is 0, I is 0. So we don't know what while I less than p something. So let's assume it is going to the it's going to inside the while loop, and it says if ai equals 5. So yeah, q is going to be something referring or something starting from 0 and goes until 9, because for the first iteration you have to consider the very first item, so this should be 1, right? So for the second iteration this should be 2, third iteration it should be 3, likewise it should go, right? So the most appropriate one is the I, right? Because you can't put count over here, because count is get related with the count equal count plus 1 kind of a thing, which represent the R, right? So I will be the one who is represented inside the array. So Q is equals to I then. So once you have I there, it's going to be first A0. A0 is not equals to 5. So F is n and I will be increased by 1. So I will become 1. Then the condition checks, right? So what we are going to figure out here is what's the limit of the I, right? So then it will follows, it will read the second index, right? The A1 thing, right? So A1 equals 5. No, it is not. It is 3. So it is not going into the counting part, but I will be increased by 1. So 2. Right? So likewise, it should goes until the 10, until the 9. Otherwise, you can't read it. But it will become 9 right over here. So if you put 9 as the P, so they are checking whether 9 is less than 9, which is not. So it will get false and will not come inside. Will not come inside means you are not going to read the very last item, which is the one, which is this one. So it's better you have 10 as your condition. So once it is 9, it will come inside and do the necessary processing and will be promoted to 10. So now 10 is not equals 10. 10 is not less than 10, but it is equals. So while loop will be what the end in the execution, because I is larger than not larger than, I is equal to 10. So which dissatisfy whether I is less than 10, right? So the answers will be P is 10, Q is I, and R is count, right? So let's see how the marks are given. Okay, it's over here. Yeah, so P is 10, Q is I, and R is count. People, is that clear? Do you need me to brief it again? Right, great. So moving forward, who has done the second question? So when you are having the marks for the first one, count it like, okay, calculate it out of 18.5, because we have omit some things in the graphic question. All right, going forward, anyone who has done the second question? Yes. Okay, here comes the second. Consider the following statement regarding ICT-related security issues. A malware program that replicates itself to a spread to other computer. Yeah, we call this the computer worm, right? And unsolicited, that means unwanted email receives into the inbox of an email software, where we call it as a spam, right? So let me show you the marking scheme again, so you can have the idea. Right, so it is computer worm and spam for the second one. Third one, pretending to be trustworthy communication, attempting to obtain someone's username and password, right, of a bank account. So it is called phishing. Yes, right, okay, good morning. Right, go and have change yourself. Oh, okay, it will be okay, right? Daddy, no. Say hello. Tati in the class. Tati. Go ahead. Right. Sorry for that, people. Yes. So, yeah, pretending to be a trustworthy person. It is regarding the phishing. So, what Fisher is doing, like he is pretending to be a trustworthy person and send us or like try to grab our username and the password regarding some sensitive data or regarding some facility, because username and password are sensitive data that you can find, right? And so the first one is going to be computer worm, second one spam, third one phishing, and the last one, it is called adware, display unwanted promotional material in the form of pop-ups, right? So those are called adwares, right? So one mark for each answer. So 4 marks are given, all right? And in the second part, it is asking what are the incorrect positions or like what is the incorrectness of the posture that this person is showing to you. So there are many things. Neither he's not he's too close to the monitor, and monitor is not below the eye level, and he is bent from the what we call the from the backside. So it will cause many different problems. So since he's much too closer to the screen, it will give you eye strains, right? And since he's bending towards the monitor, it will give you neck pains and back pains, right? Yeah, yes, muscular problems, right? Lalindi, that can be taken as well. So here are the answers. You can have headaches, computer vision syndromes, or the eye strains, right? Repetitive strains, like the stress that you are going to go through, right? Carpal tunnel syndrome, because his actually the carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah, even though they have given that answer, it's not a very uh, clear one, because like from his elbow, the entire part is on the table. So I don't think, yeah, it doesn't matter. So like the picture is not very much clear whether he's going to have a carpal tunnel syndrome or the wrist pains, but yeah, you can still take the marks for that, right? So muscular skeleton, or in other words, musculoskeletal, either. Uh, yeah, it's a jumbling word, right? Musculoskeletal problems, right? So yeah, something regarding the muscles, right? So back pains, and again leg pains he can have because his legs are like not properly placed on the floor, right? And again frozen shoulder, that can also happen. So any one of these, any two of these, right? Because the question is asking about two of those things. They write two health related issues. So like you are going to have 3 marks for that. And in the third part, they are asking, consider the following. I'm going to take the paper, right? Yeah, consider the following scenario labeled in 1 to 3. A person copying licensed software downloaded from internet and selling to others. Definitely the piracy, right? You can't do that. When you are doing it, you are told as a software pirate, or like software piracies happen. A person logging into a social media account using a stolen username and a password. which can be category as cyber crime, right? And hold on. Privacy is also be taken as an answer. No, cybercrime is gone with that. Yes, it's cybercrime. So then a farmer in one country use agricultural information on web while farmer in another country is unable to use such information as he does not know how to use the computer and does not have access to the internet. So definitely the digital divide, the lack of information, lack of knowledge regarding the computers, which will create a digital divide. And what are the other factors? The economical factor, right? Like the poorness or the richness will like determine whether to have the like like whether to have the ICT or not, because there are many other purposes when it comes to the people who are like less in the income to spend on, right? So ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ priority list එකේ ICT කියන එක පහලින් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? And geographical locations where you are not having the internet or the signals are very low, so it's going to give you a digital divide, right? And the attitudes, some are like some do like to work with the computer, some do not, right? So the attitude. And when it comes to the gender, it's again have some differences as well, right? And yeah, such kind of things. So the marks are given like how? Let me see. Yes, 1 mark for each part, like for each answer, right? So 3 marks for that. See how many out of 10. Okay, moving to the third question. So the third question is about HTML. Anyone who have done that? Right, okay, let's go through. So they are asking to fill the places which is given by 1 to 8, right? So yeah, so 1 is center because your milk rice heading is center aligned, and second one is IMG, that is how the picture is placed on the web page. And third one is justify, that is why this alignment of the paragraph, both the alignments are set okay. So that is a justify one. And a fourth one is italic I. Fifth one is bold. So like where we can find the italic one. Yeah, Kiribat. This is in between the italic one and New Year is the bold one. So this particular structure is an unordered list. So you have to put UL, and there is something to do with the superscript, which is SUP, which indicates SUP. So SUP comes to which place? Oh, let me refer the question. 1 is superscript and 2 is subscript. Yes, yes. So the 7 is the superscript or the SUP, and 8 is going to be subscript, which is at the both side of the 2. Right. So 7 is going to be SUP, 8 is going to be SUB. Right. So they have given the marks in this manner. Yeah, for the first one to the sixth one, it's 1 mark per each, and 7 and 8, it's 0.5 marks. All right. So altogether you can have 7 marks for that. In the second part, they are just asking about the true false things. Number of pixels can be reduced by removing unnecessary section in edge of images using crop trim tool in graphics software. Yes, when you're having unnecessary things in the edges, you can crop it and move things, right? And size of a video file can be reduced by making the frame size smaller and reducing the resolution of image in a frame. Size of a video file can be reduced. Yes, it is. It can be reduced by moving out the what we call the frame size and reducing the resolutions. And the third one, it says the size of an audio file can be compressed by decreasing the sample rate. Yes, yes, that can be taken as true as well. Right, so all are true. So if you got all 3 correct, 3 marks are given. So calculate how many out of 10. All right. Who has done the fourth question? The Excel. Most of you have done that. Yes, so the question that they are asking is, the following spreadsheet segment shows CO2 emission in KT or something, right? Of some Asian countries in year 1972 and 2014. So 1972 is on the B column and 2014 is in the C column. Write down the formula that should be written in cell D4 to find the difference of CO2 emissions between year 2014 and 1972 in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is the which is in the row number 4. So you are going to say C4 minus B4, because C4 is the 2014 emission, which is the larger value, and the lesser value is the 1972, right? So you can say C4 minus B4, and it doesn't matter if you have the brackets, right? And second one is asking, write down the formula that should be written in cell B4 to calculate the percentage increase of CO2 emission from 1972 to 2014 for Bangladesh. Percentage increase equals difference divided by value of the year 1972 into 100. So you know what's the difference is, right? So it is saying C4 minus B4 divided by B4 into 100. Or you can go with the brackets level in these ways, as it shows the second answer. And in the third answer, you have directly taken the D4, because D4 indicates what's the difference, right? And multiplied by 100. So if you got anything like this, so you can have 2 marks for that. Right. The third one, assume that the two formula entered to cell D4 and E4 are copied to the cell range D5 to E10. Write down respectively the two formula displayed in cell D9 and E9. So they are copying relatively, right? That means it's going to be changed according to the change that they are doing, right? So C from C4 to D9. So in C4, it has C4 minus B4. So if you came to the D9, it's going to be C9 minus B9, right? And the percentage column, it's going to be C9 minus B9 into B9, sorry, C9 minus B9 divided by B9 into 100, right? Or the alternative answers that you can see at the below of your marking scheme. Just excuse me for a moment. Hello. Right. So if you got it correct, you can have, yeah, they are saying that we can have 3 marks for this. Yes. So how they say no partial marks. 1.5 marks for each for correct formula. Yeah, 1.5 for each. So 1.5 for the one and 1.5 for the other one. So you are going to get 3 marks for that. Right, then they are asking about the other parts. Where it is. Yeah, it says a formula in the form. Oh, Himanadi, hold on. I'm moving there. Can you see it now, though? Oh, what? The screen is not being shown to you? Then harida. It's not moving. Okay, hold on. Let me share it again. I'm stop sharing it. So I'm sharing it now. Is it okay, though? Yes. Himanadi, is it okay? Oh, chat taking mechanism connection making disconnect I connect do, then it will be okay. Right. Yeah, let's wait a second until Himanadi arrives. Okay, let's move on till she arrives, right? So moving to the fourth part. So it is asking a formula in the form of function cell 1, cell 2 in this manner, right? Written in cell B11 to calculate the total in all countries in 1972. Write down the relevant terms for the function 1, cell 1 and cell 2, right? So it's going to be some function in the fourth. So should be like equal sum B4 colon B10 because they are asking for the 1972 additions or like the total. Or else you can say it like this: function 1 is sum, cell 1 is B4, cell 2 is B10. Still you are having the marks. Himanadi, can you see it now, Dua? Right, great. These are the answers for the third part. Yeah, right. Himanadi, is it okay? Like, are you done with the marking of the third part? Right, great. So the fourth part is about the having the additions. So it can be something like this, right? Function 1 is equal to sum, cell 1 is B4, cell 2 is B10, or else you can write the formula straight away, equal sum B4 colon B10. So in the fifth part, they are asking name the most suitable chart type in spreadsheet software to show the CO2 emission of given countries in 1972 and 2014. So they have given many different charts: bar chart, column chart, area chart, line charts. Yeah, not the pie charts, right? Pie chart is regarding one specific component or like one specific column. So you are going to have 2 marks for the part 4 and 1 mark for the last part, the fifth, right? Right. Moving to the fifth question. Who has done it? Yeah, great. Assume that the following database table are used to calculate the electricity bill. The same rate is used to compute the bill of a given customer, right? So it has 3 separate tables: customer data table, rate table, and usage table. Write 2 primary keys and their corresponding tables, right? So in the customer data table, it is the name is there, account number is there, type is there. So we are not usually taking primary key name as a primary key because it can easily be repeated. So if you look at the account number, it's 1001, 1002, 1003, it continues. So it's not going to duplicate. So it is okay. And if you take type, RC is there. So like it is been repeated. So you can't take that. So the customer table, account number. Rate table, again, we are not going to take rate because it's a figure which can easily set as a duplicate one. So then we are left with the type, right? When it comes to the usage table, month is there, account number is there, units are there. So units can be repeated easily. අපේ meter reading එකේදී meter එකේ තියෙන units සමහර ලාවට එක වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. If you take the month is also repeating January and January over here. If you take the account number is also repeating. So in this kind of scenarios, what we are doing is we are making a composite one. So month and account number can be considered as a composite primary key. Right, so 2 marks will be given for any two primary keys with the table name. Table name is a must. Right, in the second part, it is asking write two foreign keys and their corresponding tables. Yeah, now foreign key means primary key of a one table can be replicated or like can be used in another table as a foreign key. So the type over here is going to be a foreign key. So customer data table type column is a foreign key. And account number over here is going to be a foreign key. So account number column on usage table is going to be a foreign key, right? So rate table and the rate table, type in the customer data table and account number in the usage table. Right, if those two are correct, you are going to take 2 marks. So the third part is asking yeah. What would be the most suitable table in the database to add the field customer address? Customer address is a detail about a customer. So it's better you go with the customer data table, right? So customer data table is the most suitable one. So 1 mark will be given. What table should be updated if a new customer called ABC Nawaz of type R has used 120 units for the month of April? So if it is a new customer, then definitely the customer table going to be updated, and it is on the rate which is already existing. So the rate table is not going to update, right? 120 is going to be there in the customer table, customer data table. And hold on, no. 120, the usage is going to be on the usage table, right? So customer table will be added with the details of new customer, and usage table will be added the detail with the number of units that he have consumed, and the what are the other two? It was, hold on. Yeah, it is the month and the account number, right? Those are the other things. So for customer table, you should add a new record to here, as well as you have to add new record to here saying 120. He's a new one, so it will be 1004, and this is April, right? So two tables are going to update. And it is asking what are the, write down the data lines, how it is been there. So you can say it like this: in customer table, ABC Navas 1005, type is R. And where's the other one? And in usage table, you can go for April 1005, 120, right? So adding a new customer is given with 2 marks. Yeah, now here it says a very different thing from the previous marking scheme. Yeah. You have to mention the customer, like the table name, like customer data. Then you have to say ABC Navas 1005 and R, right? Otherwise, you should draw the table and show how the things have been happening, right? Even for the usage table. So here they have given 2 marks for that. By mentioning the table name and drawing the structure correctly, right? It's better you go on this manner. මොකද ඒගොල්ලෝ එක එක past papers වල එක එක විදි අරගෙන තියෙනවා, headers දාන්න නැතුව අරගෙන තියෙනවා. So it's better you go on this manner, so no one can reduce you the marks because you have given all the things, right? For usage table, it's going to be like this. And let me see how many that they have allocated for that particular thing. Yeah, 2 marks again. So you are going to have 4 marks for that particular part. 2 marks for the customer table and 2 marks for the usage table. So the 6th one is asked, what table should be joined to run a query to find out total bill for AB Silva for January, right? So now, if you are going to go with that, what are the things that you need to change? Himanadi, it's better you keep the headers, because in some marking scheme they say it's a compulsory one, in some other they say it's not. But having the headers will do no harm for you. So it's better you go with the headers, right? Okay. Now where is my, yes. Yeah, so now when they're asking about a query, I told you the trick, right? Just think, if the question is asked manually but from you, table should be joined to run a query, find out the total bill for AB Silva. Now, how we are going to calculate the total bill for AB Silva for January? So bill details is right over here, neither. Right, units are here, account numbers are here, month is here, and the rate is going to be For R, it's 10.50, C is 18.5. And customer details are right over here. So you may need in like AB Silva's bill for January. Now AB Silva is right over here. So that means you need the customer table, customer data, and you have to find the account number and the type of that particular customer. So they are asking the bill for January. So the month is in the usage table. So you are going to refer 1001 and the month. So the units are 185. Then, yeah, and the to calculate the total bill, you need the rate as well. So you have to see how much the R is valid. So it is 10 and 50 cents, right? So all three tables are needed to calculate this particular thing, right? Otherwise you can't. So in these kind of questions, it's better you think about the scenario, how we are going to do it in manual. So in the very same way, SQL needs those tables to perform its query, right? And let's see how the marking scheme says. Oh, it's the other page now. Sorry, people, my pages are running here and there. Yeah, see, it says all three tables, or customer data table, rate table, and usage table. Right, so 2 marks for that. So you can sum up how many out of 10. Okay, so the 6th and the 7th will be discussed on the next class, right? And we are moving to the 2016 one as well. So please do the 2016, complete the paper. If you have done the paper, just go for the other papers. All right. We'll try the 2019 paper like around the December, neither. Right? Yes, we have plenty of time, so we can do more papers and go for that. Right. So thank you very much for today, and your recordings will be on the website, right? I think you know about it. So go to the starlabs.lk and go to the Starlabs recording, and under the grade 11 you can find your recording which I have done just now. So I'm not yet uploaded for that uploaded the paper. This was from the previous class, right? Which is yesterday class. So you can refer it from there, right? All right. Thank you very much, people. Have a nice weekend and be safe, right? So I'll see you on next Sunday for the very same time, right? Thank you very much, people.